Okay, hello. This video is a little different from my normal fare. It's not a CW sending practice or copy practice video with a screen capture from some piece of software. It's a little bit more of a show and tell. K6JSC, Jason, if you're watching, this is what I told you about. So I'm active on HF, QRV on all bands from 10 meters down. Well, I'm not on 160 right now, but I will be soon. But anyway, I'm on the air regularly, daily. I'm also active on VBAND, which is this internet virtual band where you can do CW, and there's a lot of really cool people there, ranging from people just starting off to people who worked in commercial telegraphy, CW, ship operators, people like that. Really quite an interesting place. And I've met some neat people there, including K6JSC, Jason from California. He and I were discussing paddles and sending techniques and all the related topics. And he gave me a really enthusiastic recommendation for these 9A5N solid state paddles from Croatia. And so on his recommendation, I went and bought this one, a twin lever from 9A5N. It was an awesome transaction all the way around. The guy was a great communicator, really on top of things. I got it so fast, it made my head spin. I think it was a total of about 7 days until I received it. So no regrets, works great. I'm really glad I bought it. At the same time that I was thinking about buying it, I had put a bid in on an online auction for this single lever version. And just by coincidence, I ended up getting that. So even though my intention was only to buy one, I ended up with two. And then in the background, Jason, those are two UR5 CDX paddles, a single and a dual. And I just included them because sometimes that's what I'm using when I'm talking to you on VBAND. So the only thing I've noticed so far, I use a Win keyer, right? An external computer controlled keyer. The only thing I've noticed is that this single lever paddle does not work with that. It does something unusual. It sends it into some kind of a programming mode, and I don't know why, because when you attempt to send with this, the Win keyer starts responding R, like acknowledgement, Roger, and then it starts slowly sending, or eventually sending very slowly. So I think it's some kind of a programming mode or something. I need to research that, but this one works great with it. So so just a quick demo. The light touch cannot be overstated. I've got it set at the lowest sensitivity, and it really takes almost no effort. Like I'm barely touching it. So because this one doesn't work with the Win keyer, I've got it hooked up to a little external unit off screen. That one only goes to 25 words a minute, so it'll sound slower. It's also got an obnoxiously high side tone. I think it's like 800 hertz or something. I prefer much lower, in the 4s and 5s. Likewise, very light touch. It's taken me a little getting used to a single lever. I've never used one of these before. These two here showed up both within the last week. And until then, I've never, ever sent CW with anything other than a twin lever iambic paddle. So I don't have an octopus to have them all hooked up at once. Let me swap cables. This is now the UR5 CDX. We're back on the Win keyer. Very light touch on this. I've got the contacts set so close that I'm afraid if a piece of dust turns sideways and lands in there, it's going to start falsing. It hasn't so far, but it is capable of very close adjustment. The only thing, my only complaint on it is that the tension nut right here, there's some backlash in the threads, and so when you get it to a very close adjustment and then lock down the tension nut, you actually pull the contact post back just a very small amount. And I'm not complaining, it's perfectly fine, but just something to note. And then finally the twin lever. my arm is like fully outstretched here to reach this. So it's not very ergonomic. I may not send well. But anyway, Jason, thanks again for the recommendation. I think this is super cool. Glad I bought it. Glad I ended up with 2 of them by accident. Nothing wrong with that. And then just thought I'd throw these other 2 in just to show you. Because sometimes when I'm on VBAND, that's what I'm sending with is one of these 2 here. Or it could be a Bencher or a Kent or a Jones or whatever. But I'm getting ready to put those on the back shelf. And I'm thinking these here are going to be the ones I use for the most part for the time being. All right, thanks.